All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Computer Apps. We are ready to jump into lesson number 8 right now. We're going to be taking a look at tables again. So remember, you're going to go Insert, Table, and simply draw out the size of table that you need. Now, again, remember, if you draw out a table and it's not big enough, simply right-click in one of the cells and you can insert rows above or below. Again, that'll keep this all one table that you can work with. But for today's project, we're going to be looking at something else a little bit different. We're going to be looking at how to change these columns and rows. Now, for this project, what you're going to be doing is you're going to need to resize these columns, and there's really two ways you can do that. The quick and easy way is to just come up here to this little gray bar and drag it around. Right, by dragging this gray bar around, you can change the size of the columns, but let's say that as you're looking at this, you need something a little more precise. What you're going to want to do is click in the cell and come down to where it says Table Properties. Now, Table Properties is a bit misleading because depending on what you have highlighted will determine what it is that you can actually modify. So since I clicked in a single cell, I can change only the column width. Let's say we want to change it to a 1.5 here, and you'll notice right now it's changed. The cell column width here is exactly 1.5 all the way down. Again, we can do the same thing quick and easy, right? We could change this to, let's say, a 4, right? So now you've got that, and we could also even do this one here. Let's go Table Properties again. Let's go 0.75, and as you can see right now, my table is starting to line up. We can even do the same thing here, right? If it's not checked, check this column width button. It will make sure that the entire column matches up with whatever number that you put in there. All right, so this table is looking pretty good, at least for a start. Let's go ahead and remember how we do some of these merging things. So let's say we want to throw a title on here, right? What we're going to do is highlight the cells, right-click, and merge them, right? So we can throw a title here. Now, again, you're familiar with the center alignment button. We use that all the time, but let's say we want to make this row a little bit bigger. What are we going to do? Well, you can just simply make the text bigger, right? And Google will adjust the size of the row for you. But let's say you want something specific. How can you do that? Well, if you come back into Table Properties again, you can actually set a row height. And again, just like the columns, you just simply type in a number. Let's say we want a 0.5. And one other thing I want to show you too is this cell vertical alignment option. Now, there will be times where you want to center the text in your cell both horizontally and vertically. Let me show you what I mean. So if we click OK here, oops, I didn't make it quite big enough. Let's go to, right? So we have our title here. Right now it's aligned vertically towards the top, but we don't want that, right? Let's say we want to center it. We're going to come here to our cell vertical alignment, hit in the middle, and click OK. And you'll notice now our title is perfectly centered right in the middle of our cell. Now, you don't have to do this with merge cells. I'll just copy this real quick. We'll throw it down here in this new one. Let's make it a little smaller. Again, we can do that same thing. So let's go Table Properties. I'll make this a little bigger so we can see it, and center it vertically. And boom, right? So notice now our title is centered perfectly inside of this cell here. So that gets us to a good start, but we're going to be doing other things too. One of the things that you're going to have to do is figure out how to rotate text. So let me show you how to do that. Let's merge this bottom row here, and I want to make it a little bit bigger so that we have some space to work with. What you're going to be doing for today's assignment is you need to enter the word notes and rotate it 90 degrees. The way you need to do that is go Insert, Drawing, New. This is the way that Google has figured out how to be able to insert text into the Word doc side of things. And again, you'll notice this has a lot of the same features and options as Google Drawings, which we were using a little bit earlier. you have the capabilities, most of all of the capabilities that we see in Google Drawings. So let's throw in some notes here. And again, you'll notice I have the same. I can change the fonts and I can change the size, and we've got that. That is easy enough to do. Oops, there we go. So you have a lot of options that way. You can bold, underline them, etc. Now, you have everything done. How do we rotate it? Well, you see this little ball here on top? Click and drag it, and you can rotate notes any direction that you please. What we're going to want to do is, for this project, let's rotate it 90 degrees, click Save and Close. And you'll notice, because it's big enough, it actually kicked our table onto the next page. Let me fix that real quick here. Let's just delete this row. All right. So you'll notice that we have like all of this white space here, and there's a lot of extra stuff. What you can do if you have that happen to you, you can actually come back into Edit. You can either double click on it or click the Edit button. It'll bring you right back to your text box. And my recommendation is you make that only as big as it needs to be in order to fit everything. So you'll notice we've got everything squared away here. Save and close, and now it kind of fills the screen. This is a picture, so now you can actually drag and make it however big you want it to be. And you also have the ability to use like the wrap text option. Now you'll notice sometimes it gets a little bit glitchy. My recommendation that will really help with that is to get rid of the margin. Turn that to 0, right? Take the drawing margin down to 0, and you should be able to move it with ease. If it disappears, just use that undo button, and you should be able to make it work. As one final point of note, right, we also have to insert an image in this project. So again, we'll click in here, insert an image. Again, remember, there's a whole bunch of different ways. We've talked about that. I did a lookup of a school building. Let's take a look at that, see what it comes up with. We'll use this image here. Now we'll insert that. And again, notice that you can drag it around, and you have those same functionalities that we saw before. Change the margin to 0, and you can drag it wherever you want to. So with that, I believe that is all of the things that you need to have done for this project. Again, remember also too, as a quick aside, if you highlight a group of cells, you can come up to the paint bucket tool up here, change the background color. We looked at that last time, and I think that should be all of the things that you need for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and turn you loose. You can go ahead and get started.